Hey everybody, Jillian here. Today I've got a brand new Bible journaling process video for you. I started off making a memory dex card and it went horribly wrong. So instead of spending any more time on this, I'm going to salvage what I can and create a journaling Bible entry. So I wanted to do a memory dex card about being a peacemaker, and I had Matthew 5:9 typed up on this piece of vellum. So instead of doing it on the memory dex card, I'm just going to go ahead and open up to Matthew 5 in my Bible, which already has an entry on the one side, so I'm going to do it on this side over here. I've got the verse already typed up, so I can stick it over here in the margin. And then I've got some print and pray things, like some random Tile Alpha stickers from years past, Elaine's sweater weather set, which was re-released in the Illustrated Faith print and pray shop recently, one of these cute little letter flashcards from Jill, and then just some other things I had pulled for this project that didn't go as planned that I'm just going to transfer over into the margin of my journaling Bible. First, I want to figure out where I want everything to live on my page, and so I'm going to push paper around for a good minute here. So I sped this up ×8 so you wouldn't have to see that in even double speed. And this looks pretty good to me, so I want to keep my title on the bottom, my journaling will be down there, and I'll have my verse that I typed up on my typewriter on a piece of vellum in the margin above the cluster. I'm really loving this sherbet color from the Target Handmade Modern line. The last process video that I shared featured it also, and so I'm just going to paint it on here with a big old paintbrush, really messy, willy-nilly. And I'm going for some paint splatters here, and because I am using a large paintbrush, I got some pretty large paint splatters. So I'm going to very carefully move this over and hit that with my heat tool to speed up the drying process. So I already have a pretty good idea of where I want everything to live on my page, so I'm going to go ahead and get my pieces down with my Illustrated Faith tape runner, and I'll go ahead and read to you the verse that I'm journaling. It's Matthew 5:9, the beginning of the Sermon on the Mount, where Jesus says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God." So I started with this verse in mind because of when I'm studying in James. I just wrapped up a word study on godly wisdom, and the last part of that passage referenced peacemaking. So when we studied that passage, a friend and I, we learned that there was an emphasis on peacemaking instead of peacekeeping, and then we were pointed back to this verse in Matthew 5:9. So since I'm running out of room in James to do Bible journaling entries, I've decided to journal over here in Matthew. And then we also learned the difference between a peacemaker and a peacekeeper. A peacemaker is someone who is others focused and who is engaged in active conflict resolution, as compared to simply a peacekeeper who is probably self-focused, takes the path of least resistance, and is passive. And so we learned that Jesus is the ultimate peacemaker, making peace between us and our Heavenly Father. I also really like what my study Bible had to say about this, the second half of this verse, where it says, "For they shall be called the sons of God." My study Bible that I use, which is the ESV Compact Study Bible, says, "Those who promote God's messianic peace will receive the ultimate reward of being called sons of God, as they reflect the character of their Heavenly Father." So I wanted to note that in the margin too, and you'll see how I kind of incorporate my notes around this large cluster that I've got over the text. You don't have to journal over the text. If you want to do something similar like I've done here, by all means, keep it in the margin if that's your personal preference. Alright, so we've got some fun layers going on. I'm wanting to take these three colors, like this pinkish color, this maroon color, and this teal color, and kind of spread them around all over the page. I'm going to go ahead and take this brick color Target Handmade Modern Paint with my Dina Wakely Media tool, which is made of silicone. It's really cool, and just create some little spotty dots around for that pink and red look to coordinate with the pink and the maroon from those printables. I used that typed word piece from, I think it's a 100 Days toolbox. which is available in the Illustrated Faith Print and Pray shop. I'll go ahead and link that set. I'm pretty sure I used that in my last video also. And then those tile alphas are just from different Print and Pray releases. I'll do my best to link those also. Instead of pulling out new supplies for every Bible journaling entry that I do, I usually look to what's already out on my desk and pull from there first. So you may notice some similarities between entries that I do near each other. I've got the first part of my journaling down, and then there's some blank space up here towards the top that I'll go ahead and fill up, and then I'll even move over to the right where there's a little bit of a paragraph break. Then I'm going to go in with this really fun stencil that I like to use. I just simply like to put my pen through this. It's like a geometric heart. It's made up of all these little tiny triangles. I like using it. I think hearts are pretty versatile in Bible journaling. And then I'm going to look to the Word Nerd stamp set from Illustrated Faith. I really, really like this stamp set. It's really versatile. You could use it on really any Bible journaling page. And here I'm going to use it to remind me to go back to that passage in James where this whole thing started. And then I'm looking to my study Bible here. I want to include that in my journaling too. I thought that was a cool note. So even though the Memory Decks card didn't turn out the way that I wanted, I am pleased with how the Bible journaling entry turned out. I think it's fun. It was definitely fun to make. Great to spend some time recording these truths and think about them and how I can be more of a peacemaker in my home and in my life and in my relationships instead of just a peacekeeper. So that's going to do it for me. I've got a finished look at my page along with a couple of close-ups. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment below. I will do my best to link everything that I used below in the box below the video. And that's it. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon.